Welcome back again, guys. I've got a couple of things I want to show you real quick that fall under the knife category. I know what I like, what I want, but I also have a couple of good friends that have a lot of experience with the things, especially in some areas far more than I do. And I really trust their opinions individually. When I start seeing their separate individual opinions align on something without either one knowing that the other one's on the same page, that I really perk up and take note when I see that happen. So in my quest to continue to look into what I want as my favorite survival preparedness knife setup, which I'm always evaluating. I know what I like and I've got what I use. I'm always looking if there's something that's more applicable or better. I'm not opposed to changing and upgrading. I like to share that with you guys when I do. One of the big things that I haven't looked into the past, and I don't know why, I've got a number of friends that like them, is cold steel knives. I know there are people that don't like them, whatever. I've got friends that got a lot of time with them and do. But two of my close friends who've done a fair amount of stuff overseas in bad places both turned me on to this knife I'm fixing to show you. They both carried it overseas. They both used it. It works for them and they still use it today, even in a non-military fashion and more of a survival and preparedness fashion. And it's not something I previously would have looked at. But when one of them says, you know, this is what I'm using and this is what I really like, I'm like, huh, okay. And then when I'm chatting with the other one, and before I even mention it, he says, hey, you know, this is what I've used for a long time, what I really like, and it's the same thing. The two of them haven't previously talked. There's a clue in there. I try to take note when I hear clues. I'm not a detective, but I try to use my limited IQ when I can. So enough rambling. Cold steel. This is the Cold Steel Recon Tanto. I picked one of these up at their suggestion, and I'll just tell you up front, I don't have a lot of time in with it. I've used it for a few little minor things, but nothing big. I want to get some more time in with it, see how I like it. A couple of observations. It's a nice thick blade. It feels really good in your hand. You got a good tacky rubbery grip on it. I'm generally not a big fan of traditional American Tantos, which is what this is. A true Tanto in the original form of a Japanese Tanto is curved, and it's curved and slender right here, like the James Williams Hisatsu. The American Tanto that's got this angled cut to it is more of an American style. Not a big fan of it. I don't not like it. I just think it's a little overrated for what people try to use it for in claiming, this massive penetration and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it really excels at that. What it does excel at, though, is with the spine width, it does have a very strong tip. At least this one does. So chances of you breaking the tip get greatly reduced with that strength. Now, again, this isn't a knife to be trying to cut big old tree limbs with and, build a house with. It's more of kind of a general purpose knife. If you needed to pry something, if you needed to cut something, small to medium size, cut rope, cut vines, cut on a stick. You could pry a little bit with it. It's fairly thick in that regards. You could use it defensively if you needed to. Just general things like that. For its size, believe it or not, it's fairly lightweight compared to some other knives the same size. Now, it's a little bit longer blade than what I really have been thinking of, but I don't find it unmanageable. The sheath on it's really nice. It's injection molded polymer sheath. The knife locks in real good by itself. You do have a strap up top. You can take the back piece off and flip it around side to side, left-handed, right-handed, whatever. I do like that the belt loop piece is undoable, so you can take it on and off a belt without having to take your belt off. Simple and functional. Very important for me. I don't know if the camera's going to do that, but there is a drain hole in the bottom right there. You can see that. Very important for letting water out. So, again, there's a clue in there when my two friends are both using this and really like it. I'm going to use it some, give it some time, and see what I think. Will it have a place in my gear? We'll see. Time will tell. Initially, I really like it. I think it's got a lot going for it. I think it's on the upper end of the size spectrum that I'm wanting for a general purpose knife right now. But we'll see how it goes. There's another similar one, which is the Cold Steel SRK. I really want to pick one of those up because I'm thinking it might give me everything that I like about this knife, but in a more standard kind of clip point blade profile. The one that I want, though, is the one that's made out of the SK5 steel, the same as this one, and those appear to be really hard to come by right now. A couple of really good reviews on those online, especially over at Gideon's Tactical. He's got a good review up on the SRK with the SK5 steel. That one's high on my list. I'm kind of keeping my eyes peeled for one of those. Now, another one that I picked up based off of what I saw over at primarily Gideon's Tactical, but a couple of other places. Aaron over at Gideon's Tactical is kind of like my go-to guy when he's doing knife reviews and I want good info on. Then I'll take what he says and then kind of compare it with some other reviewers and kind of see where things go. But I really like what he's got to say on things. So that said, I picked up a little Cold Steel companion to go with it. That would be this folder right here. That is Cold Steel. Will that focus? There we go. The Fenwolf. Polymer handle. Aus 8 steel on the blade. Nothing real fancy. This is a Scandi grind on the blade. Really strong tip to it. Good lockup. It's lightweight. It's simple. Again, it's not a crazy functional tactical folder per se. But I mean, we got to be honest about this when we're talking about survival and preparedness and that sort of thing. Sorry guys, this chair keeps rolling on me. Using a knife on somebody's really low on the spectrum of knife uses for our purposes, if you're really honest about it, right? So, for the price for both of these, it's a hard combo to beat. You can get both of these together for under $100. Amazon, eBay. Oddly enough, I find that on Cold Steel prices, Amazon is usually a little bit more expensive than eBay. eBay usually has some better deals price-wise on the Cold Steel stuff. I don't know why that is, but there you go. So between the two, though, you should be able to find both of these for fairly good prices. So again, this one's just a polymer handle. There's no metal liners or anything in it. It's just got a back lock on it. It's not a liner lock or anything like that, which makes it real easy for one-handed open and closing on your leg. The thumb studs are real smooth as far as opening it that way. Man, it's just a really simple functional knife. Now, I've done some whittling and carving with this, and honestly, to make like feather sticks and that sort of thing and start a fire, this thing is a little beast at that. Boy, you can really feather a stick fast with it. It's got a good 90-degree spine on it. You can strike a ferro rod on it real easy. This one's got a few marks, but I've cleaned them up already because, again, I clean my stuff when I use it. Sorry for you you guys that don't think so, because it doesn't show a bunch of wear, but when I get done with my stuff, I clean it. A little oil, rag, a little bit of fine steel wool. I clean everything up just because I do, right? So, couple of sharp things from Cold Steel. Recon Tanto and the Finn Wolf. Could they be like the general purpose do-it-all pair for the armed prepared citizen? I don't know. Time will tell, but I tell you what, up front they're making a pretty strong argument from the limited use I've done with the two of them. If you were just going to have a combo to put in your equipment, again, armed prepared citizen roll here. I don't think you could go wrong with these two at this point in time. Time will tell if that changes. Either way, I will try to update you guys down the road once I get some more time. Check them out if you're interested in it. Till next time, take care, and I will catch you in another one.